In 1991, APRA introduced the Ted Albert Award for Outstanding Services to Australian Music, honouring the indelible mark left by Ted Albert on the country's musical landscape. As an early pioneer and independent record production entrepreneur, Ted founded Albert Productions, where he discovered and produced iconic acts such as the Easy Beats and signed AC/DC, among others. This year's Ted Albert Award goes to a unique and incredibly influential Australian musician. To present the award and acknowledge their friend is outstanding Broome-based musician and founder of Scrap Metal and the Pigram Brothers, and a member of the West Australian Music Hall of Fame, Stephen Pigram, along with a gentleman renowned for his iconic contributions to Australian rock music, the incomparable Don Walker. Please welcome Stephen and Don.
Like teardrops rolling on the waves. Run by, ukulele play.
I'm 64, folks. I put my glasses on. Yeah, back in 1981, I hit the road from my hometown Broome, population 1,200 at the time, with my bubbler brother Michael Manolis and Uncle Jimmy Chai to attend a little music school of sorts, named the Centre for Aboriginal Studies and Music, Chasm, in North Adelaide with our band Cuckles. Almost immediately when we hooked up with a full of energy, dreadlocked 21-year-old music warrior, Bart Willoughby, with his band No Fixed Address, who were packing the pub rock venues. Well, those that would allow them to play there anyway. His songs like We Have Survived, Black Man's Rights, written in his late teens, were pumping out of the double four-way systems at the Governor Hind March to 1,500 pub rockers, totally hooked on the Australian reggae rhythms and songs that became Bart's signature musical genre for the next 40 years of his amazing performing career. I saw it firsthand, and I was thinking at the time, this is in 1981, you could be singing them kind of songs and all these Aussie kids are jumping around dancing and really getting into it. This is, 10, maybe 8, 10 years before the other Australian bands even dreamt up these sort of lyrics. Being the same age, we knocked about the music house at Chasm in Adelaide with the Ngarrindjeri matriarch Auntie Lila Rankin, and Bart welcomed us into their family. We did lots of jamming in the soup kitchen for the homeless people in Grenfell Street there. And because we were on the kind of work for the doll scheme, we used to nick across the road to have a pub lunch, and Bart introduced me to Space Invaders and Pac-Man, which was a great thing because being a young fellow from Broome, these sorts of technologies we even weren't in the place. We got down to play at the Sydney Town Hall way back in about 1981, about March, and Bart must have been having a break from No Fixed at the time, but he just wanted to keep playing music and joining up with the other Aboriginal musicians around Australia. He even took us to the Wrong Side of the Road premiere back then. Anyway, the whole town of Adelaide at this time was a creative, bubbling stew and launching pad for the first group of the contemporary Aboriginal bands performing their own original music. Bands like Us Mob, Cuckles, Bunalori and Coloured Stone, The Hard Times from Melbourne, Arnold Pudding Smith and Joey Geyer, and Bart was our cutting-edge leader, musical warrior, our Bob Marley in the Australian mainstream music world in 1981. 43 years on, just as the traditional songmen, singers of the songlines of creation stories that once linked all the tribal nations of our first peoples of Australia with cultural knowledge of the sacred waterholes, soaks, springs, rivers and lakes to survive this unforgiving, rough and tough country. So was Bart the contemporary songline tradition, the master, the Nyalan, the songman, songwriter, pioneer of Aboriginal reggae, drummer, singer, didgeridoo maestro. And I'm glad that APRA's honoured him with this award tonight. Don, would you like to say a few words?
My turn. Thanks, Steve. What can I say about Bart? Back in 1980, nearly 45 years ago now, myself and my mates, and Bart and his mates, toured around Australia together in a series of vans and cars, and we got to know each other pretty well. And we've been friends ever since. At that stage, there's a lot of what people take for granted now concerning the things that Bart sings about didn't exist. There was nothing of all that. And Bart came out of Australia, he was just a kid really, but he had a quiet, unquenchable fire in him. And he wrote the songs and he sang them and played the drums. And with his mates, Les and John and Ricky, they formed No Fixed Address. And all the things Indigenous in song and in film and on TV and in our academies and in our discourse followed in Bart's wake. He's, as I said, Bart's a quiet man of great depth, is how I'd describe him. This award is the top Lifetime Achievement Award in our industry, and it's usual to say that when somebody wins this, that it's usual to say, for example, that Bart is worthy of this award. But I would say it the other way around. This award is worthy of Bart.
And now to the screen, everybody, to celebrate Bart's achievements.
I am a black man.
Bart Willoughby's career has paralleled the rise of popular Indigenous music in Australia. A Cookata Murning man from South Australia, Willoughby is an accomplished drummer, songwriter, actor and artist, whose fusion of reggae with traditional Indigenous influences is not merely a musical genre, it is a testament to the richness and diversity of Australia's original cultural identity. As a founding member of No Fixed Address, a band billed as the most controversial band in Australia, they were championed by Tina Turner and toured with The Clash, Ian Dury, Peter Tosh and Cold Chisel. They were the first Indigenous band to play on Countdown, the first to tour overseas, including a rare run through the Soviet Union during the Cold War, and the first to sign a record deal. They have been inducted into the National Indigenous Music Awards Hall of Fame, and in 2021, an Adelaide City laneway was named in their honour. Their 1982 mini-album, From My Eyes, was launched by future Prime Minister Bob Hawke, the same year the band survived a truck crash that ended their WA tour. Willoughby toured with the band Coloured Stone, supporting KD Lang at the 1986 Edinburgh Festival, was awarded Best Indigenous Album at the 1987 ARIA Awards. And in 1988, he drummed for Yothu Yindi, supporting Midnight Oil on their US and Canadian Diesel and Dust tour. His career has garnered numerous accolades, including the inaugural Indigenous Australian Lifetime Achievement Award at the 1993 ARIAs, a testament to his outstanding contribution to Indigenous music in Australia, and one that continues to resonate. In 2023, he was awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia in recognition of his dedication to the performing arts and his enduring legacy and commitment to using his platform for positive change. Willoughby's impact extends far beyond music. as a cultural ambassador, a storyteller, and a beacon of inspiration and truth-telling for Indigenous communities across the country. Through his music and activism, he has challenged stereotypes and championed the rights of Indigenous peoples, paving the way for a more inclusive and equitable society. His cultural legacy is foundational to the momentum of modern Indigenous politics and arts. His lyrics have become anthems of resistance and resilience, echoing across generations and inspiring change. Willoughby's music has and will continue to inspire future generations of artists to embrace their heritage, amplify their voices, push boundaries, and create meaningful art. For his inspiring artistic influence and powerful contribution to the voice of Australia, tonight it is our great pleasure to award Australia's Bob Marley, Bart Willoughby, the Ted Albert Award for Distinguished Services to Australian Music.
Aboriginal reggae music. Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, Bart Willoughby.
So with them, so culture, so Aboriginal reggae music.
Thank you. It's been a long ride. I'd like to start off by thanking my mother and father, Betty Faye Willoughby, and, well, actually Laurie, and my father, Edwin Keith Willoughby, and my beautiful sisters, Gail, Jeannie and Noeline, all deceased. But I do have beautiful sisters and nephews who I really, really love. And just like a cup of coffee, it's a colour cup of coffee. And yeah, and also I want to thank Arnie Leela, all the great teachers that she had. Ben Yengi, who actually taught me all the rhythms from Africa with bongos, which is an ancient instrument. And Lee Hobber, who was an amazing saxophone player. I think he moved just as fast as Steve Vai. Back in the early 81, something like that. But he was quite amazing. He actually taught me how to play didge. So it was a white man that taught me how to play didge. Yeah? And so, and I'd like to thank Graham Isaacs, Ned Lander, and also Matt Beanstalk. He's a jazz musician from Chicago. He taught me how to play jazz chords. And I actually asked him once when I was young, how do you love jazz? And he went, oh, the same way you love rock and roll. And I sort of didn't get that till years later. But what an amazing teacher. So I was taught by a lot of amazing teachers, just the same way like Hal Belair was taught by an Indian bloke who was a classically trained singer, and that's how come Hal Belair ended up becoming an amazing singer. So yeah, that's the beauty of music. It doesn't matter what colour you are, it just starts. Yeah? And I think that's what happened with me. Being a stolen generation, which means that I didn't get free till I was about 15, meeting my parents. But I was brought up too with beautiful people too, the Myers, who gave me love when I was didn't know what it was, and and like I said, my beautiful sisters who are deceased, but I got two left, Andrea and Lillian. So I still have family members that are still alive, and just a lot of nephews and nieces. And it's just really proud because now they can walk around with their head high and be part of our family, which is it's a big difference in the 70s if you grew up there. Even the 60s, when I was taken away by 3 police. And also my twin too. So he passed away when I was about 3 years old. So I think I might have the Elvis Presley thing where the magic begins. Or are we cheating? Anyway, it's weird. And so I just feel really proud. You just don't know how proud I feel. I feel like I'm an Australian. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bart.